Hi everyone, welcome to the Youth One House Party Gala. My name is Eric Braun and it's an absolute honor for me to be here. I'm going to get things started tonight and sing a few songs, and then I'm going to hand it off to the team. So thank you guys so much for joining in.
Well, the road rolls out like a welcome mat to a better place than the one we're at. I ain't got no kind of plans, but I've had all this town I can stand. And I got friends out on the coast. We can jump in the water and see what flows. We've been saving for a rainy day. Let's beat the storm and be on our way. It don't matter to me, wherever we are's where I wanna be. And honey, for once in our lives, let's take our chances and roll the dice. I can be your lucky penny, you can be my four-leaf clover, starting over. Well, this might not be an easy time. There's rivers to cross and hills to climb. Some days we might fall apart. Some days might feel cold and dark. But nobody wins afraid of losing. The hard roads are the ones worth choosing. Someday we'll look back and smile and know it was worth it. Mile. It don't matter to me, wherever we are's where I wanna be. And honey, for once in our lives, let's take our chances and roll the dice. I can be your lucky penny, you can be my four-leaf clover, starting over, starting over. It don't matter to me, wherever we are's where I wanna be. And honey, for once in our lives, let's take our chances and roll the dice. I can be your lucky penny, you can be my four-leaf clover, starting over, starting over. Am I a fool? Well, I think I know the answer, but to be sure, I'll give this one more try. You know by now, I really thought we'd be together. So what am I still trying so hard to find? I don't know why. Still waiting for a sign to give me your time. If you got any, give me a call if you're ever ready. 'Cause you know you got me hanging on every word you say. Give me a reason for taking your time. Don't you get tired of changing your mind? Tell me, should I commit or give up and go home? Give me yes, give me no, just please don't give me hope. hear me out, I just want you to be honest, 'cause after all it's best for us to be. So honestly, can you see a chance that love might be? And if you don't, please close the door on me. I don't know why I'm still waiting for a sign to give me your time. If you got any, give me a call if you're ever ready, 'cause you know you got me hanging on every word you say. Give me a reason for taking your time. Don't you get tired of changing your mind? Tell me, should I commit or give up and go home? Give me yes, give me no, just please don't give me hope. I don't know why I'm still waiting for a sign, but give me your time. If you got any, give me a call if you're ever ready, 'cause you know you got me hanging on every word you say. Give me a reason for taking your time. Don't you get tired of changing your mind? Tell me, should I commit or give up and go home? Give me yes, give me no, just please don't give me hope. So please don't give me hope. Please don't give me hope. Please don't give me hope. Seen my share of broken halos, folded wings that used to fly. They've all gone wherever they go. Broken halos that used to shine. Angels come down from the heavens just to help us on our way. They come to teach us and they leave us, and they find some other soul to save. Seen my share of broken halos, folded wings that used to fly. They've all gone wherever they go. Broken halos that used to shine. Well, don't go looking for the reason. Don't go asking Jesus why. We're not meant to know the answers. They belong to the by and by. They belong to the by and by. I've seen my share of broken halos, folded wings that used to fly. They've all gone wherever they go. Broken halos that used to shine. Broken halos that used to shine. Broken halos that used to shine. Don't leave me waiting here on my own, 'cause I'm lonely and I'm tired. I don't like where I've been. Steel rail, I'll be ready when my train pulls in. Well, I thought it would be easy, but soon I came to see that easy was the last thing it was going to be. I told myself I could make it out here on my own. The weeks passed by and now I find that I'm feeling so alone. Steel rail, please carry me home. And don't leave me waiting here on my own, 'cause I'm lonely and I'm tired. I don't like where I've been. Steel rail, I'll be ready when my train pulls in. Well, the city lights seem brilliant, but only for a while. 'Cause the nights are cold and I can't find no reason to smile. I tried to find some comfort wrapped inside her arms, but as time passed by I found her to be no comfort at all. Steel rail, please carry me home. And don't leave me waiting here on my own, 'cause I'm lonely and I'm tired. I don't like where I've been. Steel rail, I'll be ready when my train pulls in. So cradle me gently now, deliver my tired soul. Steel rail, please carry me home. Don't leave me waiting here on my own, 'cause I'm lonely and I'm tired. I don't like where I've been. Steel rail, I'll be ready when my train pulls in.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Youth One House Party Gala. We are so excited to have you joining us. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your food. Hopefully you enjoyed Eric Braun's opening tonight. I know we did. It was so fantastic. My name's Noah. I'm one of your hosts. This is Casey and this is Jordan. We're going to be taking care of you guys tonight. We have a great little program planned, about 40 minutes of entertaining stuff happening tonight. We're talking about youth impact stories. We're talking about what the past year looked like for us in Youth One, and a little word from Jordan later on. We're going to be talking about the impact that your giving has and how you guys can get more involved and where the money that you guys donate actually goes to and how your support helps. I'm going to hand it over to Casey here, and she's going to talk a little bit about the package that you guys all got in the mail and what you guys can expect from that stuff.
Yeah, so like Noah said, you guys all got a little envelope like this in the mail, and inside it has your guys' ticket with your number on here, which will be important later for your draws, which we'll talk about more. There's also an envelope in here that is for any like checks or donations if you guys want to send that. We also have a how to give card that explains a little bit better how to give and donate. Also in here we have a Gala program, which just gives like a quick overview of what all we're going to be covering tonight. And then the last little bit is just like an overview of what Youth One's all about and a little bit of our history. So yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool. And most of them have QR codes right there, which are super sweet. I love a good QR code.
Oh, I love QR
code.
Love the QR codes, yeah.
You can just scan it right on your phone, you're at the website. So that's fantastic. I want to take a moment too to thank our sponsors. So we want to thank TD Bank, who is our presenting sponsor. They have been our presenting sponsor for 3 years now.
3 years, yeah.
And so a huge thank you to them, as well as our prize sponsors, Dominion Lending and Century 21, the Bearded Realtors. A huge thank you. You guys are all, if you've been to our galas before, none of those names are new to you. They have been huge supporters of us for a long time. And so huge thank you to them. I'm actually gonna hand it over to Casey again. She's gonna talk about the 5 prizes that you could potentially win tonight.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so thanks, Noah. There is a bunch of stuff up for grabs tonight. So our first one, and the biggest one probably, is a weekend getaway for 2 in Kananaskis Nordic Spa. Sorry, that's a mouthful, but
It's a good prize.
That's a good prize.
So very exciting. Our next one is a family Zuccation for 5. So that includes a 1-night stay at the Sheraton Eau Claire Suites, zoo passes, and breakfast. So again, very exciting thing happening there. Our third prize is a night out with friends. So it's dinner and drinks for 4 at Bourbon and Butter.
Ooh, I haven't been there yet.
No.
Very good place. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm sure many of you have been there. It's a great locally owned restaurant, so that's a great one too.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, sweet. And then our fourth one is a date night for 2 at dinner at 2 Guys with movie tickets.
Ooh, that's a solid weekend.
You
plan.
want that one, don't you?
I want that one.
You can't win it, but
And then our last one is breakfast and coffee for the whole family at Saunders.
Right.
Oh man, also a great prize. Those are some fantastic prizes. At the end of the night, we will be drawing a number from the tickets that you guys got in your packages, and from those, that's how we'll determine the winners of those prizes. Hand it over to Jordan now for a little bit of talking about how to give, as well as our Launch Forward initiative. If you've been following us for a little bit, the Launch Forward initiative is probably not new language, but Jordan's going to explain it a little bit more in detail now.
yeah. So obviously we're at a fundraiser, right? So we need to raise money, and it's really important. So many of you have probably been at our galas before, and last year we did something really unique where we did kind of like a radio show. It was a lot. We did it for a month long, I think 16 hours in total footage. And so this is a little bit more simplified, but it's really about watching from your homes or gathering together for a meal at we know some of you are at a restaurant right now, which is really cool. And we're here for one purpose, right? So we have a bunch of other things like learning about Youth One and its impact and stuff. But it all comes back to raising money for Youth One so that we can continue the impact of what we do here in Lethbridge, and ultimately help raise up our youth in our community, especially the youth that need it most. And so tonight, our goal is to raise $120,000. Now, you may wonder, why is $120,000 so important? Well, that's where Noah was talking about, and it's our Launch Forward initiative. We launched this in October, and some of you probably gave to it already. But in the whole year, we need to fulfill and sponsor 330 regular attending youth. All of Youth One's services is free. So any youth that walks through the door, it's fully accessible to them. That's support services, all the programs, food, all-encompassing programs and services for the youth. Is we want to sponsor 330 of them so it remains free for everybody. So that means for every youth, it costs roughly about $1,200 to provide services to them in the school year. And so with our Launch Forward initiative, all we say is for every $1,200 that's raised, we support 1 youth for 1 year. And it's an amazing opportunity for the youth. They're surrounded by mentors, they're surrounded by caring adults, support services if they need it, but it's all around the idea is that every youth is just lifted up in our community and supported where they need it the most, and we're able to do that by providing them these services for free. So tonight, our goal is to support 100 of those youth. We want to sponsor 100 youth tonight for the school year, which means that times 1,200 is $120,000. So we invite you to participate in this. We invite you to partner with us in sponsoring these youth. We know many of you really believe in what Youth One does, and if you're new, you're going to learn a lot about what we do tonight and the impact of it. And if you're returning, you get to hear lots of stories of impact and why this place is so important. So Whether you have $50, whether you have a lot more than that, every $1,200 will sponsor one youth. And our goal tonight is sponsoring 100 youth. So, to explain the Launch Forward initiative a little bit more, we made a video for that, and so we just invite you to watch that right now. Since 2014, Youth One has served thousands of teens in Lethbridge by providing a wide range of mentorship-focused programs and supports for youth after school. From our after-school drop-ins, lunch programs, school outreach, daily support services, and more, it's always been our desire to meet the youth where they're at and help guide them through their middle school and high school years, ultimately leading them to a healthier future where they're living out the potential we all know they have. Now, to do this best, it starts with having a caring adult role model and mentor who believes in them, and barrier-free opportunities that do not discriminate or limit access. Now, this is very important. Lethbridge has one of the highest child poverty rates in Alberta, and this creates a significant financial strain on many families hoping to have more opportunity for their children during their teen years. Out-of-school opportunities that are healthy, safe, and empowering. At Youth One, we believe that every young person should have a space where they're supported and belong, regardless of their socioeconomic status. This is why we want to introduce you to the Launch Forward initiative. It's a core fundraising tool that now provides 330 individual youth every year with full access to Youth One, a youth center with a focus on mentorship-based programs and support services for teens 11 to 18. Through this initiative, for every $1,200 raised in the year, one of those 330 youth are provided a full year's worth of access and support at Youth One. Really simply broken down, for every youth that is sponsored, they receive over 1,600 hours of access to programs and supports in the school year, food and snacks at each program, activity supplies, and most importantly, trained staff and mentors that are ready to invest in them. Youth One has always been heavily supported by the local community, and this is a great way for you to partner with Youth One and have direct impact on youth and families in Lethbridge. Tonight, our goal is to fulfill 100 of these youth sponsorships for the school year, which equates to $120,000. If you can give towards this important goal, simply go to youthone.ca/giving. Scan the QR code on the information card you were given with your tickets, or mail a check using the mailing envelope we have provided you. However you are able to support, we would love if you partner with Youth One through this initiative and begin the investment of launching Youth Forward to a brighter, healthier future. Because when our youth are supported to live out their full potential, the future health of our community increases.
Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully that video was informative for you. We're actually going to spend a little bit of time now, and we want to talk about who we are and why we do what we do, as well as some of our core values and our leading goals for the year. So I'm actually going to hand it over to Casey, and she's going to talk about who we are and why we do what we do.
Yeah, so most of you guys are probably quite familiar with Youth One, but if you're new to the scene or just kind of heard about it, it's a mentorship program here in Lethbridge, and we serve kiddos, or youth, I guess. I always call them my kiddos, but youth aged 11 to 18 years old, and we're just there to support and guide them and give them a sense of belonging within the community. We do this, our big why for Youth One is because in Canada, every 1 in 2 youth grow up without one mentor in their life, which is
It's a very sad stat.
Yeah, it is. So Youth One just provides a place that we can be that one caring adult in these kids' lives. Yeah, that just helps reduce risk factors in their future. So yeah, and just we're there to give them a sense of belonging and support. So yeah.
I think that's huge, right? I mean, for myself, getting introduced into Youth One, I think recognizing that I was blessed with having mentoring relationships in my life, the people who were mentoring to me, right? And seeing like, oh wow, like most students don't have that. It's really, it fills me with a lot of purpose every day, waking up and, you know, wanting to provide that with students. I'm actually gonna hand it over to Jordan now, and he's gonna talk a little bit about our core values as a team and what kind of drives us forward as a team.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys will hear so much when we talk about that one caring adult and how important that is, and mentors in young people's lives. Reduces, like many, even risk factors, right? Like drug and alcohol abuse in our community. It increases grades at school and graduation rates. And so really when we started, it was believing that every young adult, every youth has so much potential, but many of them actually grew up in a community where they don't have the support that they need to actually achieve that potential. And so that's why we provide programs and services and supports where they can find two things, and that's belonging and support, so they can reach their full potential. And I think that's where the caring adult really comes in and is very important in a young person's life. And we do this by three different things, right? It's our values that we have as an organization. And so when we talk about these things, it's not just to relay information to you, it's actually to invite you into this thing and say, this is actually really important. This is why we do what we do in the community. And those values are really simple to us, but they mean so much. The one is mentoring relationships. That's our most important one, where we believe that that one caring adult in a young person's life is essential to their future health, their future opportunities, and their future successes. The second one is a family-like community, and I love this one because when we have youth coming in, we want every youth to feel that sense of belonging, right? Not that they have to change themselves to fit in, but they can come in who they are as a person right there and then, regardless of the barriers that they have in life, and they feel welcome in a place where they belong. And so by creating that family-like community, we're able to provide them with that place where they just feel like it's their second home. It's always something that comes up, is it feels like a second home to them. And so we think that's super important. And the last one is personal growth, because we want to see them develop, right? And so we do that through three different things. We do it through leadership. So we have a leadership program that we run that you'll hear about later on in some of our programs that we run. We do it through life skills. So we invite youth into different opportunities. So helping prep food, cleaning the center, running concessions. So even like running float, like how to do that, right? Is learning these life skills. And then holistic health. So wherever you're at in your journey, you know, so are you, how are you health-wise, right? We've had volunteers where they'll go walking with the youth and look over their physical health and suggest things. Or we've suggested youth go check out a youth group if they're starting to question, you know, their spiritual life and what that looks like for them. And so we do lots of these different things as far as developing them as a person and guiding them. So we're not telling them where to go, is we're actually acting as guides for them and saying, hey, this is where you're at, where do you want to go? Maybe we can help you out a little bit there. So the mentoring relationships is one of our values, family-like community, and personal growth. And so I think all encompassing, that's where youth show up at our center and we say, you know, hey, we really just invite them into this second home and say, we're here to journey with you. We're here to guide you and help you become a healthier, more thriving person and help you reach your full potential. So
sweet. Well, thanks so much, Jordan. I think, you know, having those up on our board at Youth One in our team room, we have those on our board, and it just kind of, it's something so we can always look back to it every single day. Something that's not really very well known outside, if you're just looking in, is we actually have a very large team. So between volunteers and staff, we have 30 people on our team who come in every single week and are serving our youth. And so having our core values on the wall, as well as our goals and stuff like that, is really important so that we can all stay unified. And so we actually have all three of our goals also on our wall at all times, and our core focuses. And so for this year, our core focus is making sure that every youth is intentionally connected with a caring adult. And so we do that every single day we go out, and that's really what drives us. And one fun way that we kind of, you know, track that is through, at the end of our day, we spend some time in our team room debriefing our day, and we spend some time just writing out on a sticky note different connections that we made with students. And so if you go into our team room, on the wall, there's just plastered a bunch of sticky notes of different connections that we've been making with students from all of our different team members. And it's just super, super fun going back and reading all of those and seeing all of the youth who are getting connected with. We also have three goals and three main goals that we use to drive forward our programs. Our first one is that we want to make sure that every single youth is connected to a caring community. And so with that goal, we want to see 600 individual youth attending our programs throughout the year. Our second goal is that we want to make sure that every youth has that family-like community. And through that, right, we kind of track retention and making sure youth are coming back, because, you know, if all of our youth show up once and never come back, you know, clearly something's missing. And so we want to make sure we have that family-like community. And so a big way we do that is tracking our retention. And this year, we're hoping to see 200 youth every single week coming through our building. Our third goal is financial, right? We talked about this at the beginning, but we want to make sure that we provide 330 youth sponsorships this year, which works out to $396,000, so about $400,000 we need to raise over the course of the year. So those are our three goals. We talked about those every single day before we go out to programs. We're gonna head over now, we're gonna head over to Taylor. He's gonna give us a Youth One tour, kind of show you guys what the facility looks like, as well as a little inside look at programs. Hopefully you enjoy that, and we'll see you soon.
Hey everyone, my name is Taylor and I'm one of the after-school drop-in leaders. We thought it would be really cool to show you around the space here at Youth One and give you an in-person glimpse of the programs and what goes on here at the facility. So, if you're ready, let's get going. So, to start off, we have our check-in area here at Youth One, where every single attendee is greeted and signs into the programs we offer during the week. When new youth are registered, they're given full access to the space for the school year, all of which is free because of the generous support from you. On an average year, we see about 450 registered students during the school year, and this year we're actually on track to see over 600 registered youth. This leads us into some main hangout spaces we have at the center that feature some of our core programs throughout the week. The first and most popular core program that we run is the After School Drop-In Center. The After School Drop-In exists to give youth and families a safe, empowering, and mentoring environment during after-school hours. You may not know this, but between 3 to 6 p.m. has statistically shown to be a largely unsupervised gap for young people in most communities, leading to many unhealthy outcomes such as high crime rates for young people. By providing an alternative space, youth are given healthy outlets and activities to participate in. The drop-in program features organized activities, a computer lab, an art room, skate park, climbing wall, table games, concession, daily meals and snacks, and more importantly, healthy adult role models and mentors who are ready to invest in the youth. The average attendance for drop-in programs is around 230 youth per week. We also offer support services for youth. The center is open all day if youth need to access resources, assistance, or someone to talk to. We partner with local organizations so all needs can be met, whether in-house or through collaboration. This can include support for emergency housing, counseling, homework help, job finding, and more. We also offer a general text line for announcements, general chat, and the same kind of support mentioned before, just by digital means. Just last year alone, we sent and received over 12,000 text messages. Another core program we have is the free daily lunch program for high school students. In partnership with local restaurants and food banks, youth received bag lunches to take back to school or scheduled hot meals. We open up our doors from 11:30 to 12:30 every day and see about 20 to 30 students access the meals on a daily basis. This has been a very beneficial program for youth that need it most, and is another amazing way we've been able to lend an extra hand to the schools offering extra support for their students. This leads us into the team room, where we run our youth leadership and intern program. The youth leadership program trains and equips youth to be leaders amongst their peers and in their community. The program runs on an annual basis and meets weekly with their leader. Youth go through book studies and regular sessions learning about who they are and how to better lead in their community. Students learn about the importance of giving back and all serve as volunteers for younger youth once a week. Our current leadership program has 5 youth who are now in their second year of the program. In the back corner of our building, we also have a video studio. It looks a little different right now, but this is normally where we shoot and edit a lot of our videos. About 5 years ago, we launched a YouTube channel called Youth One Now. This YouTube channel offers online, educational, and developmental videos that are produced in-house by our staff or youth. Videos cover a range of topics like bullying, coping with stress, healthy living, and more. It's a great space to have, and we continue to look at ways of reaching youth through online content, equipping them better for their adult years. Last but not least, we have our Mentorship Program. This program is quite new for youth, but it's already having a lot of cool impact. It's a bit wild, but in Canada, almost 50% of youth report not having a mentor or caring adult role model during their teen years. Through this program, trained staff can participate in direct one-on-one mentorship opportunities with youth. This gives youth an opportunity to meet regularly with a caring adult, forming healthy relationships on a more personal level. Mentorships usually take place outside of the center and happen in many different environments, including places like the movies, mall, restaurants, skate park, and more. Well, that's it. While we have extra seasonal programs and services available to youth, this gives you a great insight into the core programs and space here at Youth One. We found that over the years, the common language from our youth is that this place feels like a second home. And while our activities serve a big purpose, the key focus in all of our programs is that every single youth is connected to a caring adult. And if we do this well, it will not only empower our students, but it will guide them into the full potential we all believe they have.
Awesome. Well, hope you guys enjoyed that video. We love Taylor. He's been part of our team for a really long time. He started off helping us with video production, and he actually was part of our team last year, and he's currently one of our volunteer program leads. He helps run our Wednesday drop-in teams every single week. I want to talk a little bit more about our core programs, so our after-school drop-in, our lunch programs, and our support services. Those would be what we call our core programs. They're really important because, in my opinion, they really are the bread and butter of what we do at Youth One. So our after-school drop-in, that's really where those connections are made in a deeper way. So we have our students coming in. Usually that's the first point of contact for a lot of our students. And we can really get some really intentional relationships, going back to what I was talking about before, those intentional relationships at our drop-in centers. As well as our lunch programs, that's a great way to just bring in tons of students. One of my favorite things about those two programs is the demographic of students, or the students who are showing up, are completely different. If I go down to a lunch program, I don't recognize any of the students because I'm almost only ever at drop-in. And so it's crazy to see all those different students, as well as our support services. Those are great for students who just need like another outlet to connect with a caring adult. Casey, you joined us last year in our summer programs, and you are now kind of running all of our drop-in programs. And so I just want to ask you, like, what would you say is one of your highlights, kind of being here for about a year now, what would be one of your highlights from drop-in? Yeah,
so it was hard for me to think of one because there's been like so many over the year, but a big one that I like, since I'm there every day part of programs, I get to see how Youth One like grows. So we have this one middle school girl, and since the beginning, every time she's come, every week she's brought 2 new friends at least. So we're like always signing up new youth, and it's just like cool seeing the Youth One like community grow, and that these youth are excited about it. They're excited to come hang out. They're excited to tell their friends about it and just like share this space with other people. So that's a huge highlight.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We every single day, like, so she comes twice a week, and usually every day she's bringing 2 people. So we're actually going to talk a little bit about some of our stats, and she is a large reason why our stats are so high. So we, this year, I mean, we mentioned before, our goal is 600 youth, and currently we're at 430, which is incredible. This is actually currently on track to be our busiest year ever, which is super, super exciting for us. our other goal of having 200 average weekly attendance. We are also above that. We're currently at 226 weekly attendance, which is just fantastic to see. So those are kind of some of our stats, seeing what we're doing. And we actually are going to turn your attention now to another video. It's a recap video of all of 2021. So there's some great stuff. There's some stuff from last year when we were more locked down with COVID, as well as what we were doing over the summer a little bit, and then some of our programs once we started back up in the fall. So turn your attention to that. Awesome. Well, that was a super fun video to get to kind of look back on the past year. It definitely makes us reminisce a little bit about the highs, the lows of the past year. So I'm actually going to ask you guys a little bit about what were some of your highlights. I'm going to ask you first, Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Casey said, right? Like there's been so many highlights in the year. And I think for all of us, we can empathize with the thought is like there's been so many big ups and downs and changes and always trying to pivot your circumstances and how to address that. And so it was a very challenging year. And I guess for me, one of those big highlights was how we were actually even able to help other organizations and youth centers in Alberta do better at their programs in reaching youth better and more youth. And so back in the new year, so at the beginning of 2021, we had submitted an application to HS and had numerous discussions with them. At this time, we weren't even allowed to be open. We were doing everything online. And we were approved to actually open up in smaller settings. And so through that, the actual application that we used, we started chatting with numerous youth centers. And I think we were able to help 5 to 7 youth centers in Alberta actually open up their doors to continue to provide these spaces for youth where they could find that support and after school programs and all that kind of stuff to be able to help with their immediate needs, which I think is huge. So not only did we see major impact within our own organization, but we were actually able to take our understanding and our resources from Lethbridge being, I think it was the first youth center to be able to be open in Alberta and help others in other communities reach their youth as well. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. I mean, and there's so many cool things, right, that came out of COVID, right, with being able to help other with other groups and stuff like that. I think that's awesome. I think for myself, probably the biggest highlight is just looking back over the last year and a half, really, of COVID stuff and just like the growth that we've been able to have. I remember, so it was the fall of 2020, setting goals of like, okay, so what are our retention going to be like? What's attendance and stuff like that? And I think our goal was like 250, registered students. We wanted to reach 250 registered students, and we just barely got over that by June. So in the whole year, we had about 250 students registered. I'm not even sure what the retention rate was because we weren't really tracking it because we were shut down so much. And so, right. But then this year, I remember in the spring and in the summer, really trying to think, okay, what is our goal going to be? And I just remember thinking, I was like, you know what? I want to do 600. I want 600 registered students to come in the building. And I remember even talking with everyone, and we're like, well, maybe that would be kind of hard to do because we were still like pretty locked down at that point in time. And I'd be like, no, we're going to do 600 students. And now, having 430 is just absolutely fantastic. And I mean, even with our retention rate of having, we wanted to see 200 students. And when we put that rule in place, we could only have 50 students in the building at a time, and we were running 5 programs. And so we really needed to have all of our programs pretty much maxed out all the time. And now we're above that, and we have 8 programs running. We have 4 lunch programs running every single day, or every single week, and we have 4 drop-in programs, which I think is just like seeing that growth in last year. When a year ago we were closed, we weren't even allowed to have students in our building. It's just fantastic.
And I think it really speaks, because it's like a lot of numbers, right? But it really speaks to the need of our youth.
Yeah.
Is focusing on how important that one connection is with a youth, and if you do that really well, how the word spreads on a place where you actually feel like you're being supported. And so I think that's where we've seen those numbers influx, where we know there's a massive need right now. We're going to be talking about even mental health. Issues are rising very, very quickly, and the way we can address that is one through these personal relationships and supports that we're building. And so I think that's where those big numbers come.
Exactly,
yeah.
Right, it's huge.
Yeah.
So, how about you, Casey?
For me, one of my favorite highlights is I spend a lot of time in the kitchen, as you guys have talked about. We provide snacks at all our programs, so during drop-in I'm in there and I always have a group of kiddos just hanging out in the kitchen with me, and it's just cool how they take initiative to actually learn how to prep some of the food, so getting to help teach them some of those. And then we have a ton of fun too, whether it's making the food, having little dance parties when the food's cooking in the kitchen and just waiting. It's just a lot of fun in there, getting to build those connections with the youth. So,
oh, that's fantastic. We've talked a lot about the importance of connections with our students, and we actually want to take and turn our attention to some of our youth. And so we're going to go to a video of some of our youth talking about the connections that they've made while at Youth One and the value that they have found in it. So I encourage you guys to turn your attention to that now.
My name is Brooklyn, and I'm in grade 12, and I've been attending Youth One for 5 years since they started the middle school program, I think. I'd say my favorite program at Youth One is the lunch program, just because we get to come and hang out and have free lunch and hang out with the leaders and connect with them and have fun. It's kind of like a break from school. It's really nice.
My name is Austin DeForest. I'm in grade 11. I've been coming to Youth One for 4 or 5 years now. My favorite program at Youth One and why, it's probably gonna have to be Monday Drop-In, just because that's it's a program where a majority of my friends are, and it allows me to kind of just come in and have my cool down after school.
My name is Seth. I've been coming to Youth One for 3 years, and I'm in grade 8. My favorite program at Youth One is family time, because it kind of helps you see who's there, trying to see if your friends are here, and they remind you of the 3 R's, which is respect yourself, respect the building, and respect each other.
My name is Sultan, and I'm in grade 8. I've been coming here for 3 years. I used to have anger issue, so when I come here, I just be calm, you know, just chill out, play around with my friends, yeah.
I would say that Youth One gives kids a chance to just get out. It gives them a place to come to, whether that's like to get away from home or school or just whatever they got going on in life, and to just come and have fun. And yeah, it's just like a very welcoming, supportive place.
I love Youth One because it's a very inclusive place, and it's a very welcoming place, and no matter who you are or what you like or what you don't like or really who or anything, you're going to be included and you're going to be welcomed, and everybody's going to treat you with a smile, and they're going to welcome you, and you're going to log in and everybody's going to be happy to see you.
Youth One to me is like a second home, and it's basically just somewhere you can come and feel welcomed, and like you have a voice. If you're having a bad day, you know that there's always someone that cares about you.
Youth One impacted me to be a better person mainly just by showing me how much I can give to a community, even just by small things, like just helping out someone on the street, whatever. And it was just kind of, it showed me that I can help, even if it's only a very small thing.
Youth One has shown me that individual people can have individual talents, and they're kind of their own person. So if you get to know them, it's really fun to learn more about people and socialize.
Every time I go to Youth One, I feel like everything that happens at school or outside of school, I can just forget, because at Youth One, there are new experiences and everyone's nicer to me.
When I came here, I thought it was a safe place. It's a nice place to hang out with your friends like that. And I made new friends coming here also.
I just want to say to people donating and whatnot, thank you. Your contribution is very helpful to the youth here, because it gives us a safe space to just kind of come, be ourselves, hang out with people who we might not hang out with usually.
Thank you for donating and giving what you give to Youth One, because it's a fun place that's open to be ran, and I enjoy getting to come here, and without you guys then there won't be somewhere to come for lunch or just drop in and hang out.
Youth One has been a big part of my life, and now it's a big part of my brother's life, and your contribution to this program is greatly appreciated. And I believe that it will help other people have the same experience that me and my brother did.
I want to thank the people who donate the money. Thank you so much. A lot of kids love this place, and there's some kids who probably don't even eat at home. You know, they just come here, and you guys are helping them with the money you guys are giving to Youth One. Some kids, they can eat, yeah.
Thank you so much for doing that, because I love Youth One, and thank you so much. That's it.
Sweet, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. It's always great hearing from our youth while they talk about the connections that they've made at Youth One. We're actually gonna turn our attention now to Bree while she talks about some of the girls that she's had the opportunity to mentor over the past few years and the relationships that have been built out of that. So turn your attention now to Bree.
My name is Bree Thomas, and I've been at Youth One from the very beginning, so that would make it around 8 years. My main role and focus at Youth One is I'm the outreach director, and I get to focus on other communities and other organizations in Lethbridge that help other youth, so we collaborate together. I think that caring adult relationships are important to Youth One and me, because there are 50% of youth that don't have a mentor or have someone that they can look up to who is a caring adult, and I think that changes everything. I think that youth who do have someone who actually cares for them changes their kind of path in life. They don't have that encouragement, they don't have that place where they can be guided, and so I think that is very important to Youth One and me, that we have volunteers and people here in place to give that to the youth. So some of the mentorship that I've been doing with some of my girls actually look very different for every single one of them, because some of them, they just want someone just to listen to, and some of them, they want to make goals and they don't know how, and so I get to help them make goals and set plans and set like dates and times and stuff like that. And other ones, they want to do resumes and get a job, and so each mentorship is different, and I love that because every youth is different, and you get to kind of learn how to navigate what you can do to help certain youth, but also making it very personal, where you're not just being this person that gets paid to hang out with these youth, but you actually get to kind of like do life with them. What I typically do in a mentoring session with these girls is all different. And it depends on the space that they're at during that day, whether they are like stressed and they just need a fun day. So we go for coffee or ice cream, and sometimes we go for lunch. If it's a nice day outside, we'll go for a walk in the coulees. If they are really just kind of like, yeah, let's do something productive, then I will help them with like a job resume, or go hand out resumes, or make some sort of goals that they can, even like weekly goals or monthly goals. Or sometimes you just do life with them and you just kind of hang out and you have fun, because I think it's more so all about the relationships and not necessarily about certain tasks that you have to do, but just kind of like, hey, how are you doing? Let's just talk, let's just have fun. And from that, then you can be like, how can I help you? Some of the personal challenges that I've noticed with the youth that I'm mentoring is really mostly mental health. There's been a lot of mental health situations and things that they're going through that have been super challenging for them, where they just, they don't know what to do, they freeze. Even little things of them being scared to go see a doctor, or even admit like, hey, I have this mental health thing. So that's been one of the challenges that I've seen with the youth lately, is mental health. So some of the change that I've seen in the girls that I'm mentoring is them being able to be open to talk about it, to be open to be like, hey, I'm struggling with this, and not being afraid or ashamed of it. And in the beginning, they were really just like scared and embarrassed, but just seeing as time goes by, they're just like, yeah, I'm doing this, but I did see a doctor and I did see a therapist, and they're excited to tell me, even though it's not always the funnest thing to say, but you get to celebrate those little things. And so to see that change and the confidence they have to be like, okay, I'm not a problem, I'm not the only one, which is really, really cool to see. I see my relationship with these girls when they graduate. They're all in different grades, but the ones who are graduating even this year, I see just my relationship with them gets to kind of turn more into like a friendship, where I will continue to just hang out and maybe catch up once in a while. It would be more, I think, even more organic, more just like, hey, let's catch up. It's something that's gonna always like continue, and there will be some girls that kind of go on their own way and you don't see them for a while, but I know that there are some that are just gonna be maybe lifelong friends, which is really cool. So to sum up everything, if I could say this in like 30 seconds, would be to listen, celebrate the little things, and just be present. And it's okay to not have all the answers, but in that moment, you just get to be a friend. And I think with those 4 things, it's life-changing for both you and them.
Well, everyone, hopefully you guys enjoyed that video, and hopefully you were inspired by Bree's story. We're actually gonna take some time and we're just gonna talk to Jordan and hear a little bit from him about the impact that COVID has had on youth, and a little bit more about the importance of Youth One. So my first question for you, Jordan, is we talked a lot about connection and the importance of adult mentors in youth lives. What does mentorship look like at Youth One, and what impact does it have on youth?
Yeah, I mean, this is really the heart and soul of why we do what we do, right? And so, you know, previously in this program, I was talking, or I think it was Casey that talked about how in Canada, there's this recent stat that just came out, right? So we've always shared 1 in 3 youth grew up without a mentor. Well, we actually have recent data from Canada that says it's actually 50% of youth report that they never had a caring adult, mentor, role model in their life in their high school or middle school years. Now, we may think it's like, well, that's, you know, it's not the end of the world or anything. But when we actually look at the effects of mentorship and having a caring adult role model in your life and what it does for you and your future health and success, it's actually absolutely wild. And so even having one caring adult in your life, it reduces drug and alcohol abuse. It improves your mental health. It increases the chances of graduating from high school. And it increases so many things and reduces these negative outcomes. And so you look at that and you're like, oh, this is actually really needed in our community. There's a massive gap where youth are not having mentors or caring adult role models in their life. And so we look at this and say, okay, we can do this. You know, we have a time where we can do this after school, where it's the most unsupervised time for youth. We know what they want. They want a place where it's safe and empowering for them and all that kind of stuff. And we can surround them by the caring adults. And so we see this as having a really big impact on the youth that are coming into Youth One when we plug in caring adults during these programs. Is these relationships happen. We talk about you know, the word guide. We're guiding them into something better and seeing that they have this massive potential, but all they need is, you know, just to overcome a few barriers. They need that extra encouragement or have that person in their life that's saying, oh, we actually believe in you. And so I think that's the biggest effect with Youth One, is being able to put those caring adults in the young people's lives at critical times during the day. So.
Awesome. You kind of touched on it a little bit, but my next question is, with the complications of COVID, how do you see it affecting the mental health of our students? Yeah. Well, COVID's obviously had an effect on us all, right? And for most of us in a negative way at some point in the last 2 years. And you know, I think with our youth is a reflection of what many youth and young adults are going through right now. And so you know, we've all, I think, experienced mental health issues in the last 2 years, whether it's, you know, burnout or like this loneliness and isolation factor. It's not fun to walk through. But I think with our youth is we have to understand that this is probably the most formative time of their life, right? Like even their brain's still developing and they're trying to find their identity, right? I think in high school, it's like, who am I? The big question, right? Like, where do I belong? Where do I fit in? And when we throw in COVID with that, and they're isolated at home, their social dynamic is disrupted, we see this having a massive effect on their mental health. And mental health issues they were not only increasing before COVID, now it's increasing rapidly. And so we want to make sure we tackle that head on, creating opportunities for them, surrounding them by healthy people, and help guide them into something better, whether it's suggesting certain supports or encouraging them, I think is huge. And so Youth One has never been in a better place right now to offer mental health supports for youth through these programs that we run. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And how do you think Youth One addresses the gaps in our community when it comes to the needs of our students?
Yeah, so I just touched base on that that one gap of mental health, but I think when Youth One first started, this actually hasn't changed after we're almost in our 8-year birthday that we'll be celebrating, is this after school time, right? And so there's a whole bunch of gaps, and it reflects in the core programs that we do. And so that one is after school time, so that time between 3 and 6 p.m. every weekday after school. It's like unsupervised time for youth. They're looking for things to do. They're looking for connection. And rather than them having more, it's good that they're taking risks, but the unhealthy risks that they potentially might take, we're actually saying, hey, come to Youth One. There's a space for you to take healthy risks, meet new people, get plugged in, and it helps to develop them during their middle school and high school time. And so I think that that time between 3 and 6 on a national level is actually a high crime rate for youth. And so that's where we first address that gap, is saying, okay, why is this a high crime rate? What can we do to fill in that gap in our own community? And how does it actually benefit them for the future? And we've seen a lot of change and impact with youth by the reduction of these things. I remember one story a long time ago. this was when we first started, is one school actually approached us and said, we've seen a lot less fights, we've seen a lot less negative behavior after school because they're all attending your programs. And it wasn't actually even happening at Youth One, is they're getting plugged in really healthy ways. And so I think that's one gap. And then we address the gaps of food, you know, youth that maybe don't have a healthy snack or meal during lunch, we provide that as well. And then the support services is having that place where they feel comfortable to ask for help. And whether we can provide that or not, working with organizations within the community and saying, hey, listen, we know this person here and we can get you some help there. So I think those would be the main gaps that we have always filled in and that we are seeing a growing need to fill in right now.
Awesome. So with that, is Youth One working on anything in the future?
Oh yeah, I love this question. We're always working on something, right? Yeah, no, it's good. So we talked as a team about what our future looks like because we're growing quite rapidly. Now, COVID took a hit because we were very limited on how many youth we could let in. But I can tell you, as soon as you know, things are announced and changes are made, the amount of youth that want to attend, you guys can attest to this as well, is even having to turn youth away because they can't come in because we're always at capacity. And so, you know, we are seeing record numbers right now, but I think in the future is we have to start to look at what it looks like to potentially start some new sites so we can actually spread that capacity out through our neighborhoods. What does it look like to move into another neighborhood and do this, or address more needs of, you know, physical health? So are we starting more sports programs and stuff? And so while we can't announce too many things right now, we are working on things to address those gaps in the near future. But the challenge is always, you know, we have the financial needs and the resources that we need to be able to do that. And so we're excited about planning for the future. We are growing, and we're growing in a really healthy way. You know, we always talk about the amount of youth that are coming in, but still coming back to that core of the importance of the one and how important that is and never losing that, I think is really good. So that's probably what we're looking at for the future. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And how can the community continue to impact young people and our future generations?
Okay, so you're gonna love the answer to this, Noah, because you've been looking for volunteers, but there's two major things, right? And so as we grow, as we continue to develop as an organization, there's two main things that we need. One is obviously the resources, so the financial support to sponsor the amount of youth that are coming in. And so, you know, every year we need to sponsor the 330 youth. You know, that's why we're here tonight at this event, is we're trying to get 100 youth sponsored to meet that total in the whole school year. And so giving is really important, and to have that continuous giving to keep Youth One sustainable so we can continue to impact youth and their families and the youth that need it most in our community. One quick stat to throw out there is Lethbridge still has one of the highest child poverty rates in Alberta. And so that means a lot of youth have these financial barriers where they can't access the programs that they need, which is why it's important that we remain free to the youth that need to come in there and have a place like this. And so the financial backing is important to keep that thriving and sustainable. The second thing, which is the one you guys will love as well, is volunteers. We always need caring adults. It doesn't matter what age. You can't be too young, but you know, anyone between the ages of like 20 and up is having those caring, healthy adult role models, helping with supervision during our after-school programs or serving food. We always need volunteers and healthy volunteers and volunteers that care about youth and children in our community. And so I think those would be the two most important things that you all watching right now could get involved with. Yeah. Which I guess is, just to end on that note, us thanking everyone who is participating in this or maybe even watching later, is how thankful we are for you partnering with Youth One, whether it's tonight or in the future, or you've been a partner with us for the last 8 years. We just want to thank you so much for your support, and we wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for you. And most importantly, over the last 2 years with all the challenges, the fact that we're here being able to present to you is that we have record numbers coming in and we have all these amazing stories of impact is all because of you being able to support and lift up this place and lift up youth in our community.
Yeah, oh, so excited. And now I think for one of the more exciting parts, well, not more exciting, but an exciting part, let's give some giveaways away, some prizes away.
Let's do it.
So how this is gonna work is we're going to read off the prize, and you're actually gonna see the ticket number down in the lower thirds of the screen. If you have that ticket number, if that is your ticket, email us at info@youth1.ca and we will make sure that you get your prize. So we'll start off right with the top.
Let's do it.
For the weekend getaway for two at the Kananaskis Nordic Spa.
I gotta get my ticket. Where's my ticket?
Yes,
Can I win this one?
Oh, I wish. I saw some photos of it the other day. Absolutely beautiful. I'd almost think it'd be nicer to go in the winter with all the snow and everything, and you just sit in that little hot tub. Anyway.
Tiny hot tub.
Tiny hot, yeah. All right, well, a drum roll, I think, would be appropriate, so. Boom, and then it's right here. If this is your number, email us at info@youth1.ca and we'll make sure we get that for you.
That's right.
Number 2, the family Zuccation for 5. Includes one-night stay at the Sheraton Eclair States, zoo passes, and
Sweets.
What did I say?
You said States.
Oh.
You are not going to the States.
No, we're not going to the States. This is the Calgary Zoo.
That's right, yeah. Fun one for the family.
Fun one for the family. So, again, we're going to put the number right here. Drum roll again, I think.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah.
And there we go. If this is your number, make sure you email us at info@youth1.ca. Number 3, night out with friends. Dinner and drinks for 4 at Bourbon and Butter.
Nice.
What
Love those guys
a
over there.
great prize.
Yeah.
So, I suppose we should keep going with the drum roll.
Keep on doing the drum roll, yeah. Let's go. And then I say,
if that's your number, email us at info@youth1.ca. I keep info@youth1.ca. Casey, why don't you read off the next one?
Oh, thank you,
I heard
Noah.
this is your favorite one.
Oh, definitely. A date night for 2 at dinner, 2 guys with movie tickets.
Love 2 guys.
Oh, fantastic. So many good movies out right now, too.
I just gotta throw in something about 2 guys, too. We always talk about this, but we relate it to how much pizza they donate pizza every week. And we always try to figure out an animal, the size of the animal in weight, according to the pizza that they've donated. And 2 years ago, it was a male-sized giraffe. I'd be curious what we're at right now.
A baby giraffe, not a...
No, it was a male-sized giraffe.
Was it?
Anyways, let's give away the prize. Prize for 2 guys, date night for 2 guys. Let's go.
And a movie.
And a movie, yeah. Bing.
Email us at info@youth1.ca.
I think they got the email though.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah,
I don't want anyone to not get their prize because they didn't know the email.
That's right.
I mean, it's also on our website. I'm sure you'll find it, but make sure you email us if that is your
prize.
The last prize.
Let's go.
Breakfast and coffee for the whole family at Sonder Coffee. That would be fantastic.
Delightful.
So great.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. No. Maybe. Okay, drum roll.
If you email info@youth1 very quickly.
Yeah. Right away.
All right, let's do it.
And there you have it. So that is the 5 prizes. If you won, again, make sure you email us at info@youth1.ca.
If you email us the wrong email.
If you don't email that email, no, nothing. Thank you all so much for coming and being part of this event tonight. For your continued support, and yeah, for just hanging out with us. It was a really fun night.
Yeah, and just to remind you about giving, you have those cards on how to give, so you can send that check in the mail. You can give online at youth1.ca/giving, and let's try to reach that goal of 120,000, and that's sponsoring 100 youth for the school year, giving them that opportunity to have a place of belonging and support. When they're out of school.
Yeah. And I just wanted to thank our sponsors again, our presenting sponsor TD And then our prize sponsors, Dominion Lending, Century 21, and the Bearded Realtors. Thank you guys.
Oh, thank you so much. Hopefully you guys had a great night and enjoyed it as well. And now we get to enjoy some wonderful music from our friend Eric Braun. So make sure you turn up the volume there and just rock out to some Eric Braun.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Was there that night in California, underneath the city lights in front of your hotel, and I couldn't believe you were standing there in front of me, but in the moment I could tell was something I'll always remember. Not alone, but I could swear we were the only two around. And looking in your eyes felt like time just stood still. You breathing was the only sound. You terrified me, baby, when you started to bite your lip, and made me wait a moment before leaning into my kiss. Take me back to California, take it back to you and me. Need my arms around my lover while we're wrapped up in the sea. Can't tell you what I'd give to hear you whisper in my ear that we could go back to California. We could go back. Can't forget just how I felt you when I held you in my arms while you became a part of me. I find myself caught up in remembering what we were and how we used to be. So tell me that you'll come back in the summer. Tell me that the coast is waiting for us to come to stay. And tell me I won't fall apart the day after you leave. Just say anything. And take me back to California, take it back to you and me. Need my arms around my lover while we're wrapped up in the sea. I can't tell you what I'd give to hear you whisper in my ear that we could go back to California. We could go back. Take me back to California, take it back to you and me. Need my arms around my lover while we're wrapped up in the sea. I can't tell you what I'd give to hear you whisper in my ear that we could go back to California. We could go back. It starts out slow, but go ahead and go, and pretty soon the melody is like a rainstorm tin roof symphony. It starts out slow, it goes on and on for way too long. It always ends on a bad note. If you could dance it all, you dance along. It goes on and on. The quiet behind the slamming door, the break of a heart that won't break no more. The getaway wheels in a straight line, the serenade of a made-up mind, of a made-up mind. There ain't no rhyme, just wasted time. Moonlight spotlight shining down on a made-up mind and a love gone wrong. There ain't no rhyme. The quiet behind the slamming door, the break of a heart that won't break no more. The getaway wheels in a straight line, the serenade of a made-up mind, of a made-up mind. The quiet behind the slamming door, the break of a heart that won't break no more. The getaway wheels in a straight line, the serenade of a made-up mind, of a made-up mind. Well, I'm a stone's throw from the mill, I'm a good walk to the river. When my working day is over, we'll go swim our cares away. So put your toes down in the water and a smile across your face, and tell me that you love me, lovely Lady May. Well, I ain't the sharpest chisel that your hands have ever held, but darling, I could love you well till the roll is called on high. And I've seen my share of trouble, and I've held my weight in shame, but I'm baptized in your name, lovely Lady May. Well, the wind will leave you shivering as it waltzes o'er the leaves. It came rushing through my timber till your love brought on the spring. Now the mountains all are blushing and they don't know what to say, except a good long line of praises for my lovely Lady May. Well, I ain't the toughest hickory that you're at axe has ever fell. But I'm a hickory just as well. I'm a hickory all the same. I came crashing through the forest when you cut my roots away, and I fell a good long ways for my lovely Lady May. Has my mother left in me? How much of my love will be insane to some degree? What about this feeling that I'm never good enough? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood? How much like my father am I destined to become? Will I dim the lights inside me just to satisfy someone? Will I let this woman kill me or do away with jealous love? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood? I can feel the love I want, I can feel the love I need, but it's never gonna come the way I am. Could I change it if I wanted? Can I rise above the flood? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood? How much like my brothers do my brothers wanna be? Does a broken home become another broken family? Will we be there for each other like nobody ever could? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood? I can feel the love I want, I can feel the love I need, but it's never gonna come the way I am. Could I change it if I wanted? Can I rise above the flood? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood? I can feel the love I want, I can feel the love I need, but it's never gonna come the way I am. Could I change it if I wanted? Can I rise above the flood? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood? I can feel the love I want, I can feel the love I need, but it's never gonna come the way I am. Could I change it if I wanted? Can I rise above the flood? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood?
Thank you so much, everybody, for being a part of tonight's House Party Gala. Again, my name's Eric Braun. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here with you guys, and hope to see you guys again soon.